When a toddler sprints across a yard or stomps into a massive puddle, adults often assume they are simply burning off energy. This book cover, Moody Cow Meditates, captures the internal reality beneath that physical energy. The steam coming out of the character's ears represents the complex emotional spikes that preschoolers experience before they have the neurological maturity to process them. This creates a specific developmental crisis. Children are trapped inside rapidly growing bodies and hit with overwhelming feelings, but they haven't yet developed the cognitive tools to handle them. Early childhood curriculums bridge this gap by using musical games, animal movements, and guided teamwork to provide concrete strategies for self-regulation. This highly structured framework of play is the laboratory where foundational emotional intelligence is built. Before a child can safely interact with the rest of the world, educators focus exclusively on the child's internal landscape, prioritizing the concept of stillness. One technique involves a belly buddy. By placing a small object on their stomach while lying down and watching it rise and fall, a child learns to feel their natural breath and quiet a busy mind. With the body quiet, educators layer in positive affirmations and personalized songs. Repetitive lyrics about caring for their mind and body construct a baseline of self-worth and identity. When frustration bubbles up, tools like a mind jar, a container filled with swirling glitter, allow children to observe their own chaotic thoughts. They can physically watch the glitter settle to the bottom as a proxy for their own emotions. Securing this internal regulation and self-compassion is a mandatory prerequisite for navigating relationships with other people. Once that inner foundation is set, the radius expands to physical expression. For a developing body, basic gross motor control is a significant hurdle. Active movement songs prompt children to mirror specific actions. Reaching high into the air or spinning to a beat trains their hand-eye coordination and spatial awareness. The steady timing and rhythmic structure of the music also accelerates speech development, giving children a reliable vocal pattern to follow. Teachers often assign animal personas, asking kids to move like a slow snail or roar like a tiger. This provides a safe psychological distance for children to practice expressing large, aggressive, or fearful emotions. By combining melody with motion, children learn to treat their bodies as a deliberately controlled medium for processing their feelings. The final expansion moves outward to the community. At this stage, internally regulated children are prepared to operate as a collective group. Shared tasks, like painting a collaborative mural, require children to practice resource negotiation. They have to share materials, they must take turns, and listen to their peers to complete the project. This approach is reflected in the history of children's media. By the mid-20th century, television pioneers like Fred Rogers used music and broadcast programming for explicit social instruction. In modern classrooms, this takes the form of exercises like the Growing Friendship Wish. Educators use structured protocols to help children differentiate between an accident, like a spilled drink, and intentional harm. These collaborative play structures wire a child's brain for long-term empathy and cultural participation. This map shows how educators orchestrate these songs and movements into a comprehensive year-long framework. The learning milestones build sequentially. The year begins with All About Me in autumn, then scales to broader community awareness with People Who Help Us by summer. To reinforce this growth, teachers make social victories tangible. On this kindness garden poster, children add a seed or a heart flower every time they help a friend or share fairly. The long-term return on this investment is significant. A child who learns to navigate a playground disagreement today builds the neural pathways required to resolve complex adult conflicts years later. Prioritizing joy, music, and collaborative play builds the resilience and compassion required to navigate adulthood.